What's up, everybody? It's your host, Jaden for Illini Daily. In today's formula, we're just going to be strategizing and game planning because we have a long week before we play against Michigan for the basketball team, and we just really need to strategize because right now we're in a little offensive rut that we do need to discuss. We also need to talk about how tough an opponent Michigan's going to be, the biggest opponent of the year. We're also going to be talking about March Madness because it's going to be full of chaos this year. A lot of teams are making it to the big dance that we struggle against, and if not, could struggle against heading into the tournament. We also need to talk about what we need to improve, which I already stated, and we need to talk about Coach Brad Underwood and what the staff needs to do, what game plan they need to have, because we're going to be facing off a lot of tough teams, and it's going to be a big struggle this year. So let's just talk about it. Just get straight into it. First off, Michigan. It's going to be our toughest opponent yet. Um, Overall, ranking wise, defensive and offensive rankings, I'm just going to give you guys some stats. Adjusted defense efficiency, they're top 1 to 3 nationally. Field goal percentage defense, they're second in the whole country. 2 point defense, they're second in the country. Block rate, they're number 4 in the country. Key offensive rankings, their adjusted offense efficiency is top 5 in the nation. 2 point field goal percentage, they're top 2 in the country. And overall shooting percentage, they're number 7 in the whole country. So their top rankings is in the top 5, top 10 in all rankings, and that's going to be a struggle for us because we are not the same. Illinois may be the number 1 offense, and we're top 3 in all the categories offensively. Defensively, we are not. We're top 25. We're top 20 to top 10 in all the other rankings, unlike them. And they're just overall just a really good team right now. They've just been really, really efficient. Dusty May, their head coach, has been 27-10 with them his whole career, and they're just improving as an overall team. And unlike us, they do have focal points to their offense, but we have basically our whole team scoring 10 plus versus them. They have a couple of guys, but they're more efficient as a team overall. They're just gonna be a tougher matchup, especially when they have an amazing player in Yaxel Landenborg, who's just been a really, really good captain and leader for them, and he's just the best player on the team, and he's a two-way monster. Just to read you guys some stats for Yaxel, he's averaging 14.6 points a game, 7 rebounds, 3.2 assists. He gets a steal every game, and he gets a block and a half every game. So just to give you an idea of how much of a force he is, and they have a really good point guard in Eli Elliott Candidou. He's been their offensive 3 point sniper, and he's been their assist monster, averaging 5.6 assists. And he's a junior, so he's a little on the older side, just like Landenborg, who's a senior. So this is going to be a really tough matchup for us. Like I said, Michigan doesn't have a lot of guys who can basically outscore us, but they do have an overall better team. A lot of their guys have way more upper defensive stats than we do, so that's going to be a struggle for us. And they just had a tough matchup against Duke. Even though they lost, they still competed. And Landenborg had one of his best games. He had 21 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was just a monster all over the place. And this is on a bad shooting night for them. They didn't shoot very well. 3 point wise, they only shot 24%. So if they were having an off night, that tells you an idea of just how close of a game it was to Duke. And you could argue that Landenborg outplayed Cameron Boozer, who some were saying he was a better player this game. He almost had a triple double of 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, which is a great stat line. But he's the only one who basically was helping Duke out in that game, in my opinion, from just watching the game and looking into it for this video. And Michigan does a great job. They play a lot of man defense. They really want to just square up against their opponents. They don't want to give any leniency, and they want their players to basically just mess with the other players as much as possible. Dustin May does a great job of just coaching great schemes, finding weaknesses within defenses, and he knows how to get his players open, especially like a guy who's an overall versatile player like Landenborg, who does a great job of just scoring inside and out. So it's going to be a really tough matchup. Size-wise, they're very close to us. They're one of the closer teams to us, and they just play overall really good team ball. All their guys have top like over 2 assists, which is kind of crazy to see in college basketball because usually the average is maybe like 2 or lower, but they have guys who are outdoing that. So what we really need to do is just go back to our old ways of just out rebounding teams, showing true effort, because this team is very similar to us, top rankings offensively in every category. So we just need to do the best that we can. And in my opinion, they're a top 3 team in college basketball. So this is just going to be a tough day. So we just need to be putting our full force into it. Now we're going to more of the March Madness. This year's full of chaos, man. A lot of teams that have beaten us are definitely making it into March Madness. I'm not saying we're going to be facing them into it, but the fact that they're making it is just showing us basically that this year March Madness is going to be crazy. A lot of Big Ten teams are making it so far. There's 6 locked in. There could be more coming their way, and a lot of the SEC and a lot of ACC teams who have been really, really dominant this year have been making their way into the tournament as well. And like I said, you guys, this draft class for the NBA that's coming up, especially for us, where we have a lot of players who can make it into the draft, is it's going to be full. They're all going to make it into this March Madness tournament, and that's going to be kind of hard for us. I haven't seen this many basically NBA prospects making it into the tournament as much as this year because there's a lot of guys, AJ Debansa, uh, Peterson for Kansas State, and there's just many, many more. Even Keaton Wagler, who's on our team. So we're just going to have to be dealing with all these players that we could possibly play against, and it's going to be really, really scary to see because there's so many teams that can win at any given point. So we need to be on our toes and be ready to go, especially with our little shooting rut, which is going into my next point. Overall, as a team, we just need to improve. I know Keaton Wagler has been doing a great job of leading the team, but he's been in a weird shooting rut for the past 3 games. He hasn't been as efficient as he usually is. He hasn't gotten to that Big Ten Freshman of the Week that he has been doing. He's been playing well, but overall his shooting has been down. He's been underperforming just from the 3-point status. Past 2 games, he's had under like 3 threes, which is very unlike him. And he hasn't had that crazy games that has been giving us hope, like the Purdue and Nebraska game. So he needs to just step it up a little bit. All of our other players haven't been shooting as well. So and guys like Boswell and Stavakovic who were just injured are now coming back, so they need to get back to their former selves. I know Stavakovic had a better game last game before UCLA, but it's no excuse. We just need to get back to our bases. We need to go back to out rebounding everybody and just shooting well because the past couple of games we have been shooting under 40%, which is unlike us. So we need to get back to that matter of just shooting over 40% from the 3-pointer. And our bread and butter has been second chance points, and we have been outperforming teams in that status, but maybe we just need to do more. Definitely from the defensive standpoint, now that Boswell's back, our defense needs to be even more elite than it already was. Being top 25 is cool, but you just need to be in that more like top 20 status to be really good in this March Madness standpoint. I feel like we've been giving up too many fast break points, and as of lately, we've been the slowest team. We only been scoring from the half court type of style, which is cool and it's really good for our offense because we're more of an offensive team, especially that we're slowing down. But we need to get the best chance of scoring inside. We need to get back to our roots of scoring inside when we're giving the chance, not just shooting threes. I'm not saying we stop shooting threes. We just need to shoot less of, so we're back to our efficiency standpoint. And we just need to go back to the basis of just playing bully ball. We're the tallest team. We need to get back to that standpoint of scoring inside and using our advantage that we have. And this also goes to my next point. Coach Brad Underwood and our staff, we just need a better scheme and strategy. I like the multiple defensive sets that we were doing against USC and even UCLA, But if we have one efficient defensive set, we need to stay to that. If not, we need to just keep switching to mess with the offense of our opponents, so that way they don't know what to do. Because we have really good defensive guys, and the Ivasic twins and Boswell and Stavakovic when he's doing really well two way. And we have the tools, but we just need to keep improving on that, and the coaches need to keep facing up to that. And not only that, I just feel like we need to just stick with a game plan. If our 3 point isn't, obviously going there well, the coaching staff needs to say, "Hey guys, stop shooting the three. We need a break for a little bit. Once we start hitting buckets again, then go back to the 3 pointer." We also need to do some more offensive sets. I feel like we're just running too much, street ball, where we're not doing efficient offensive sets. Yet again, I can't hear the play calling all the time, and I'm just watching it from a TV standpoint. But it looks like we're hoping that Wagler makes up an offense, and we're just playing off of that. So we need to just get more schemes, slow the game down even more, and score opportunities, especially in fast break. I know we don't do a lot of fast break scoring, but we need to go back to that root. And we just need to get back on defense because a lot of teams are scoring on us on a fast break standpoint. So I hope our coaching staff goes back to that. And like I said, I know hasn't been a topic that people need to talk about. I hope Coach Brad Underwood finally tells his team that we're losing against really great great guard play, and we need to stop the opponent's offensive point guards. So, especially that we're heading into Michigan where they have two guys who are averaging 3+ assists. So we need to do a great job of just stopping those guys, and hopefully we can help stop the shooting because their 3 point shooting is very high up, just like ours. Not as great, but we just need to stop it at a standpoint. So hopefully we can just get back to our roots, going back to a great offense, not relying on the 3 pointer as much, like still using it effectively, just not as many, so we can go back to our efficiency of 3 pointers. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Sorry I started a little bit, but I appreciate all the subscribing. I appreciate all the help. Just like the video. Comment down below some strategies that you feel like the Illini need to do so we can have a great March Madness and just beat Michigan this week. And let me know some other stuff you guys would like to talk about Illini standpoint. I'm reading the comments. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.